Well, hello everyone! As you can see, we are playing Pixelmon today. Just over this past weekend, I went ahead and got my own server started up. The server is called GatrTime, and our mascot is, of course, my favorite Pokemon, Feraligatr. This is a small SMP server. Right now, we just got a whole bunch of people that I know, a couple of YouTubers, and a couple of people who've expressed interest in doing videos, so I will link all of their YouTube channels in the description if you're interested in checking them out. Nobody is joining me today, but several people have been playing on the server recently. And yeah, I'm really excited for this. I really love the Pixelmon mod. I only did like a couple of streams on this channel about the mod a little while ago. This is not the same world. I actually got a fresh start just a couple days ago, and I seem to be having some frame rate stuttering every so often, so that's a little bit annoying. For the most part, the mod runs fine. I don't think I'm getting more than 30 frames per second, but that should be okay. But the mod does go every so often. I get to a point where the screen just freezes for, you know, a good 20 seconds or something like that, which can be a little bit irritating. It's turning nighttime, so let's go ahead and sleep. So since this is the first episode on the server, the first of my episodes at least, I don't know if anybody's going to put one up before me. I kind of doubt it, but since this is the first episode on the server, I feel like I should probably go over the mod. I mean, I did do a couple streams, and I guess in my first stream I did kind of go through all the basics and all that, but I'm sure you guys probably don't want to watch an hour-and-a-half stream to watch me struggle through. I think the first half hour of that was just me trying to grind up my starter. So the first thing we probably need to go over is when you start the mod up, when you first load into a world. If you are one of the members of the server and you're watching this video and you haven't gotten on yet, what you're going to do is you're going to pick your starter. You get to pick any starter from generations 1 through 6. Obviously I went with Feraligatr, but of course you can go with whoever you want to. But of course I could not just, you know, not pick Feraligatr. And you're going to spawn in. You're actually going to spawn in back over that way in the forest. And what you want to do is you want to pull up your F3 and head to the south, because that's where this village is. This is where we're going to be setting up our little spawn town here. We do have a Pokemon Center and a Pokemart. And I believe if you go down that way a little bit as well, there's another Pokemon Center just kind of sitting on its own right before the taiga. And then there's also one of the features of one of the newer updates is the fact that there are NPC gyms. So there is a grass type gym, which as of this version of the mod is the only type of gym you can have. There is one of those over here, and the Pokemon are all between like level 6 and 10. So it's easy to take on when you're early in the game, and it'll give you a good amount of experience. A lot of fully evolved Pokemon in there, which is kind of weird considering their low levels. I saw a lot of like Torterras and Exegutors, and for some reason Wobbuffets, even though it's a grass type gym. But yeah, so once you get up a couple levels, you should be able to take that on. But before you get to that point, especially if you started with a water type like I did, you want to do some grinding up of some levels. And the best way to do that is off of wild Pokemon. And of course, the easiest Pokemon to grind levels off of would be Magikarp. So what you want to do is you want to go ahead and find like a pond or a river or what have you, and basically just go looking for Magikarps. Like, I mean, you look in the water and you can see one right there. And what you want to do is you want to get your starter. If you're just starting out, obviously you'll have like a level 5 whatever. And go take on one of these Magikarps. Although you do have to watch out. If the Magikarps are level 15 or above, you probably want to stay away from them, because they will have tackle and they will probably kill you, and that would be super embarrassing. And I'm trying to chase down this Magikarp so I can show you how to initiate a battle. So this guy's level 6, so if you're just starting out, that's a good level. I'm going to drop this here just so I don't drown. And you want to do is you want to press R to throw your Pokeball, and you have to actually hit the Pokemon with the Pokeball, and that initiates a battle. And then basically you just want to go ahead and use your attacks. It runs just like any other Pokemon game, and I believe the mechanics are just about all the same, although I feel like you gain levels a little bit faster to make up for the fact that you don't get as many trainers to fight. Although there are going to be NPC trainers. We have all sorts of NPC trainers hanging around. They kind of spawn and despawn whenever, and you can actually tell approximately what level they are before you fight them. I'm going to go ahead and run back over into town there and see if I can find one. So yeah, I mean, basically that's how you want to get started. You want to level up your starter a little bit. If you want to, you can start grinding up the materials to start making Pokeballs. Although I find it's easier to go ahead and grind some levels up on your starter first. And don't stray too far from your Pokemon Center. Make sure you can get back to that easily, because the first couple levels you get, you're probably going to be running back there a lot. Because you're not going to have any money to buy potions, so the best way to heal is obviously at the Pokemon Center. So yeah, and then once you've ground up, what's the past tense for that word? Once you've ground up a couple of levels, what you're going to want to do is you want to start making Pokeballs. Now, normally if you're playing at Pixelmon on your own, you would have to go find all of these apricorns, all these apricorn bushes out in the wild, but luckily for you, if you're playing on the server, then all you have to do is go ahead and pick them from our farm over here. If you're just starting out, you might as well just go for some red ones. All you really need is to grab 3 red apricorns. If you want to start your own farm, all you have to do is right click on the grounds, go ahead and plant them there, and they will grow. But if you are going to go ahead and make some Pokeballs, you want to go ahead and make a furnace and throw the apricorns in the furnace and go ahead and cook those up. In the meantime, while those are cooking, you want to go ahead and get some iron. So you do have to do a little bit of a resource gathering and some grinding first. And you're going to need to make an anvil, but not the normal Minecraft anvil. The way you make these anvils is like this. That'll create a Pixelmon anvil. I already have one, so I'm not going to bother making one. And then after you have done that, you're going to want to make a hammer. A hammer is made kind of like a helmet, but with a stick in the middle, so it looks like that. Again, not going to make one because I already have one, so I don't really need to do that. So yeah, that's how you make an anvil and a hammer. And then what you do is you go ahead and grab your cooked apricorns, and then you take them and you make a line, and that's the top of the Pokeball. There's all sorts of different designs you can use, and you can get other types of Pokeballs such as Great Balls, Ultra Balls, Net Balls, pretty much every type of Pokeball in the game other than Master Balls, I believe. So yeah, that is how you do that. That'll get you the Pokeball disc, and then after that, you want to go ahead and grab the iron again. I don't know why I put that away. And you want to do a line like that, and that gets you 5 iron discs. That's, the bottom half of the Pokeball. And then you also need one more thing. You're going to need some buttons. So you'll have to go ahead and cook up some stone. There we go. I knew I had some in here somewhere. So yeah, you need to cook up some smooth stone and make those into buttons. And as you can see, as I'm about to show you, that's not it. You can't make a Pokeball out of that. What you need to do is you now need to place your anvil down, grab your hammer. I know I have a hammer in here somewhere. There we go. There's my hammer. You can make hammers out of all sorts of materials, because this mod also adds in a couple different kinds of gemstones you can find. I think they're like iron equivalents, if I'm not mistaken. You can see I have an amethyst axe and shovel and a ruby pickaxe. So yeah, you can use those if you find those. They're actually fairly easy to find, so you should be able to make a hammer or what have you out of those. And then what you want to go ahead and do is go ahead and drop the disc, right click to drop it on your anvil, and then left click, use your attack/break block button to go ahead and pound that into a base. And then you want to go ahead and do that for every little iron disc that you have. And then you want to go ahead and do the Pokeball discs and go ahead and do the same thing for those. And that will be everything you need to make a Pokeball. So now you go ahead and get into your crafting bench, and you go ahead and place all the materials down like that. And there you go, you have a Pokeball. Now you can go catch a Pokemon. Now, what you're probably thinking is, wow, isn't that like a really long and irritating process to go through every time you make a Pokeball? And I say yes, yes it is. So there actually is an automated anvil you can make after you've, had your fair share of messing with the manual anvil and you want to move on to some automation and all that. There is actually the mechanical anvil, which is basically like, it runs off of coal like a furnace. So I have it hooked up here with an input chest. This would normally be filled with coal, or you could put lava in there too. I'll probably use lava at some point because it's cheaper than coal. And then you want to go ahead and put whatever you want to anvil up, and you put that in the top thing right here. So I have a chest leading in there. So basically what I would do in this circumstance is I would go ahead and throw all my Pokeball discs, the iron bottom part and the top part, put them in here. They get fed into the machine. It anvils them. What's the word for that? I don't know. It makes them into the completed Pokeball lids and bases, at which point you can go ahead and take them out. So this thing actually does require a sticky piston, which is why you can't just make it right away. It also does require a decent amount of iron as well, because you need to use iron bars. And sticky pistons, I should probably go over this as well. There's so much to talk about, you know. I do want to get into the mod proper in the next episode, so I do want to get over all the basic getting started mechanics before I get into that. But I'm going to go ahead and make these Pokeballs while I'm talking. But anyways, if you want to get slime balls, you actually have to find a swamp. Because you have to get slime balls as drops from Pokemon, because in this mod there are not any... Oops, I'm out of space in my chest. I need to organize those better. But there are not any mobs that spawn from normal Minecraft. So yeah, you're going to need to get slime balls somehow, and they actually do drop from Grimers and Mucks, and the only place Grimers and Mucks spawn is in swamps at night. So you will have to go out into a swamp at night and go ahead and get some slime balls by knocking them out. There's actually quite a few Pokemon that drop items upon knocking them out. I know when I did a stream, I was in a desert biome a lot, and while I was grinding up my Totodile, I fought a lot of Geodudes and such, and they tend to drop a lot of stone, like all the different kinds of stones, like diorite and andesite and all that kind of stuff, which is cool. But yeah, I think that's just about most of the basics of the mod. That'll get you started. You can make Pokeballs, you can do some grinding. And yeah, so this is our little spawn town. There's not really too much to show at the moment. As you can see, I kind of just took up residence in one of the little tiny little huts. Eventually, I plan on tearing all this down. We'll work on building an actual nicer looking spawn town here. I do have plans to get a whole bunch of clay, and I kind of want to do like a pixel art for Alligator somewhere in the middle of spawn, because I feel like that would, you know, make sense. This is the GatrTime server after all. For Alligator is our mascot, so I feel like that would only make sense if we did that at some point. So yeah, I'll probably do that. I might make it into some kind of fountain. I don't know. We'll just have to see. But yeah, I'm probably gonna tear down a lot of these houses. I do plan on tearing down the Pokemon centers as well, and the Pokemart, and kind of rebuilding them. Although I don't know if we can really move the Pokemart in the Pokemon Center, because they do have NPCs in there. I mean, I don't know what happened to these NPCs if we like tear down the whole thing. I'm actually kind of curious about that now. But yeah, we're probably I'm gonna be renovating them, rebuilding them. If I can't move the NPC, I'll just rebuild a new Pokemon Center around it. But I feel like I want to build a nicer looking Pokemon Center and all of that, and eventually, of course, build my own house. But of course, the end goal of the server, if you could call it an end goal, is not just to build houses and stuff. Eventually, we're all going to be building our own gyms. So basically, I'm going to set up a billboard in Spawn, and it's going to be basically like a sign-up list. I suppose I could just go out and grind some levels while I'm talking, so I'm not just wasting time. But so basically, oh, that guy's a little high level for me. Let's not mess with that guy. Okay. So, basically, like I was saying, there will be a billboard in Spawn where you can sign up to pick a type, and then you're going to go ahead and build a gym around it. I think we have... how many members we have? We have less than 10 at this point. It's not a huge server, so there are plenty of types for everyone. I would prefer if people, you know, picked different types, but I mean, if two people are really set on the same type, I don't really mind that at all. Depending on how far apart people build, I think it would be cool if we kind of made this into like kind of like a region, and we actually, you know, built towns around our gyms, and, you know, built roads connecting them and made it feel like a real Pokemon region. But we'll just have to see. That's quite a ways off. None of us have obviously moved out of Spawn and started working anywhere else yet. We're still just kind of building over there. But yeah, I'm kind of calling dibs early on water type for my gym, because of course I am the server owner, and for Alligator is my favorite Pokemon, so I can't just, you know, not build a gym with for Alligator in it. So I'm calling dibs on water type already. Yeah, for those reasons. And yeah, other than that, any other type is open. I guess any server members might go ahead and, if you are playing on the server, go ahead and comment in the Discord. Speaking of which, there is actually a Discord channel that is open to the public. If you're watching this series and you want to just hang out and chat with some of us in places other than the YouTube comments, I will leave a link to that in the description. There is a public section of our chat that is open to, you know, just about anybody, if you're, you know, any kind of viewers and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I believe that's all I wanted to cover in my beginning episode. We should be doing some collabs with some of the other members on the server pretty soon here. A couple members from Minecraft with a Y, a couple a couple of members who I used to play with in other places, other games, other servers, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it should be a lot of fun. I should also mention this is a private whitelisted server. I'm not gonna give out the IP. You can't just join it willy-nilly. It is private at this point. It is only open to people that I know personally, although at some point we might open up applications. I feel like at that point, though, the only people we'd let on would be people who do YouTube or recording content. I don't know, I just feel like that would be best if we did that. Even though there's a couple members on the server right now who are not doing YouTube, which is all fine and good because I do know them and that's okay. But it is easiest with a server like this where we don't really want to have to worry about, you know, like protection plugins and all that kind of stuff. It is easier to be able to gauge a person's, you know, maturity and all that kind of stuff by looking at their YouTube channel or their streams and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I believe that's all I had to cover. I hope you guys enjoyed and are looking forward to this series. And I'll see you in the next episode. Hopefully we should be doing some stuff with some of the other members as well. I know I had kind of planned a big server launch where we got everybody together, but that kind of fell through because the server wasn't quite ready when I thought it'd be. It was kind of just a misunderstanding, and I basically just missed an email from the server host. I don't know if it was my spam or if it just didn't get sent or something like that. But the server was actually up, but I didn't think it was because I hadn't gotten a confirmation email. But yeah, anyways, that'll end off this episode. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys are looking forward to this. And I'll see you in the next episode of GatrTime.